Okay, my friends, my daily brief will be fairly brief again today. 1,130 Russians are off the battlefield, 7 tanks, 12 armored combat vehicles, 54 artillery, 92 vehicles and fuel tanks. So it's still a busy day. But Andrew Perpetua's list of what he's been able to quantify has been about 1-to-1. So it's about even losses between Ukrainians and Russians. And really what you need to see is about a 3-to-1 losses for the Russians as opposed to the Ukrainians. I'm going to separate what I say here from political news. I'm going to cover all of J.D. Vance's speech and in a separate video. And I'll explain what I see in that, but I'm going to keep it separate from this particular video. Ukrainian troops withdrew from Urozhne, I can't pronounce that, I'm sorry. So they're losing ground, they're separating from that area because they're trying to prevent a loss of life. So they have ceded that territory. Meanwhile, the Russian armament factory in Ekaterinburg is on fire. The article said that the cause is unknown, but we kind of know what happened there, right? This was the only factory in Russia that produces self-propelled artillery, as I understand, and so that's what's going on there. Ukrainian drones also hit a Coast Guard base in Crimea. They hit the headquarters, an ammo depot, a power station, firing position, so they hit it pretty hard. Zelensky was upping the rhetoric, talking about how he needs to be able to hit all airfields from which Russians can launch. Not just planes that are already in the air coming toward Russia, but all airfields. And he said the fewer restrictions that he has, the faster they get to peace. I think he's exactly right about that. Another article talked about how after the Novakova Dam, and you remember when that was destroyed a year or so ago, after that, now the formerly irrigated land that was irrigated by the Novakova Dam, it's now 85% of that is now reverting to desert. It's a really strange thing to watch, but it's happening. A couple last stories in Finland. Finland is looking at, Finland's right on the border of Russia, and they're talking about potentially sending troops to Ukraine. 33% of the Prime Minister's party supports that. 39% of the second largest party supports that. Even 24% of the far left communist pacifist party supports that. Because the struggle's real when you're right up on the Russian border. And then finally, Dmitry Medvedev says that Ukraine will not exist by 2034. 10 years out, Ukraine will not exist. So the ISW says that he's signaling that the war is going to last a long time and what his real intentions are for Ukraine. So I'm going to leave you with this. I saw this meme that, and you're not seeing it, but there was this meme that said, on one side, we want to kill Ukrainian people, and on the other side, Ukrainians saying, well, we want to exist. With Elon Musk in the center saying, compromise? You can't have a compromise. It just doesn't work that way. All right, my friends, thank you for your time, the likes, the shares, the subscribes, and thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.